All right, thank you, YouTube family, for
We're
joining
back.
me today, joining us today. So I am, as you should know by now, MC Hotshot, Mike. You can go by Mike or MC Hotshot.
MC Hot Shot sounds better.
Thank you. So MC Hotshot it is, and this is
Quisa J
Quisa J. And what's your YouTube?
underscore imperfect dot measures underscore on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Thank you. Also, my cousin, by the way, my favorite cousin, might I add. Oh Lord, hopefully my other cousins don't see this.
And so what? I'm
uh,
just kidding.
but yeah, so with this episode, we are unboxing. So I don't know if you caught the last episode. If you haven't, you should. No, it wasn't the last episode. It was like 2 episodes ago
Catch all
where
of them.
I had a questionnaire for her as far as firearms and ownership, safety, and being around the family. So she mentioned that I was the one that got her into weapons, which I don't understand. Everybody around me say that. They say, "Man, I don't know, but you got me into, guys." I have a friend. He is adamant. Well, he was adamant. Well, nah, man. It's not for me. It's not for me. And I was like, "Come on, bro. We go to the range, and he shoot a couple times. Then he's like, "Hey, let me know when you go back." So I'm like, okay. So let him know when I go back. So now he's like, hey man, if you see this, if you see that, let me know. I'll buy it. And I was like, so I've converted you. And he
Influencer.
was like, you got me, man. So I'm glad that I can share my positive experiences with people, but I also enlighten people of the possible negative side effects or side experiences, whatever you want to call it, for gun ownership if you are not handling weapons appropriately as far as safety, storing them, keeping them up, out of range, things like that is essential to important as far as like having good gun ownership etiquette is what I call it.
Yeah.
Um, so we're here today because she said, "Cousin, I want to buy a gun. So send me some guns. Let me know what you think." So I sent her quite a few. By the
3 a.m. in
time
the
you
morning.
3 a.m. in the morning, like I said, all my shopping, my money go to 3 a.m. shopping. So I sent it to her. I didn't even know she'll be woke, but she was woke. uh,
Shopping like him.
so I sent her a few that I would suggest, and today we have
What I bought.
what she bought. So go ahead. You can take it out of well, actually, yeah, go ahead. Take it out of the box. It's display. It's literally she just picked it up today.
I'm gonna let
Um,
MC Hot Shot handle that, baby.
yeah. So this is what she bought today. Again, we are not paid for any endorsements from any companies, any businesses. We are not owners of the company, any of that, to whatever extent. We are just customers who have a preference that is doing a review. So this is the PSA Palmetto State Armory, the 10.5 inch, the nitride carbine. I hear it both ways. 5.56, the NATO Shockwave Classic AR-15 pistol, all black. Um, and to me, I feel like this is like the standard. You can't go wrong as far as purchasing and a firearm, AR pistol, any of that. Um, I like it. It's nice. It's lightweight. Well, what do you think? Is it lightweight to you?
Mm, lightweight to him, but it got a little weight, but I like it.
All right,
It's comfortable though.
and what drove you to wanting that? Like, what was your? Because you were adamant, cousin. I'm going to buy me a gun. Send me some guns. Don't forget. Don't forget. So, what?
I'm tired of shooting the same old 9 millimeter. I went to the range with my cousin, and I shot one of his bills, and I'm like, I want a gun like my cousin. And I had been telling him for some time that I want a gun, and he probably didn't believe me. But then we were up at 3 a.m. and he sent it to me. And he was like, "Oh, you have to wait until you do this before we could do that." And I'm like, "Well, I already bought it." Whoa, I didn't know you were going to buy it, and I bought it. But yeah, I was tired of the typical 9 millimeter, so I want to be a hot shot when I go to the gun range with all the fancy customs and stuff like that. But I did want a bigger gun. just for fun, not to do anything harmful, but just for fun because like my cousin said, he goes to the range a lot, and I'm gonna be able to be one of them with the bigger guns.
Yeah, and might I add, so she just it doesn't have the sights on it yet, so she already purchased the sights. We'll get those on soon.
Definitely.
What are you planning on doing to it?
So I'm actually going to custom paint it. I don't know what color it's going to be yet. I'm going to keep it unisex so that way if I'm out, my husband's out, it doesn't look like a girl or a man gun. I mean, you would think that this is a man gun, but women can handle this type of stuff. But I do want to change the hand guard. I do want to change
Oh, the shockwave
the
pistol,
shockwave
the
pistol
brace, yeah.
and some other stuff. Once I get into it and my cousin actually educates me, I'm going to change some stuff up on here and make it to my liking. Because, like you
Yeah.
say, this is basic, and we're not basic.
And it was, it was on sale, tremendous sale. So PSA usually have it for, I think they do this with most of their product. They have it at a price, and then you always catch it on sale. So the price is $7.99, right? But it's on sale right now for $519.99. Now it does go off sale, but for the majority of the time, most of the weapons I bought from them is on sale. And so I'm like, is that how they get you? Say it's on sale, but that's actually the price what they'll normally sell it for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You get what you get what I'm going with that. So, anyways, that was another reason why I recommended this because now you get like a phenomenal all around.
Mm-hmm.
Just you can't go wrong with this for what I call a budget price. Now,
Right.
granted, probably a couple years ago before the pandemic and all that good stuff
Right.
happened, you probably could have caught it around like 400, 500 without a sale. In that range, but due to the inflation and everything is a bit more expensive now,
Mm-hmm.
which is coming down. I feel like this was the best bill. Um, excuse me, the Best Buy. I'm sorry, I'm so used to building my pieces,
I'll get there.
which we'll get her into
I'll
it
get
too.
there.
So we'll get her into it. But anything you like to say?
No, just go ahead and educate me a little bit and tell me. I've never owned one of these, so kind of just give me like a little background of what everything pretty much is. Does it have a safety and things like that?
So yeah, with standard for the ARs, like your safety, it's yeah, it's on the other side. It's kind of hard to see, but it's
Okay.
like the oh yeah, you can't turn it.
Yeah.
Uh, you can see a little safety over here. Um,
Oh.
Now, standard for me, I have bought. I purchased one. Did I buy one? I think I purchased one gun that was like already put together. But as soon as I got it, it wasn't put together anymore. I had to customize it. The first thing I usually change out is my pistol grip. As I mentioned before, this is actually pretty comfortable. I prefer this one rather than the one that doesn't have this little piece right here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I changed this out because I have a bigger hand now, right?
It's
But
comfortable for me.
for her, it may be comfortable. Um, Something that I'm looking to change out in my build because I already bought. I can't tell you. Something else that I would change out, but it's actually okay standard. Is usually the trigger because when I first started shooting guns, I didn't think the trigger has like as much of an important part that it does have, and it's actually instrumental. I mean, obviously, it's the trigger. And what I mean by that is I've shot other people builds that have like triggers that are like hundreds of dollars, and I'm like, well, it's just a trigger. And then after I finish or when I shoot it, I'm like, oh, it's a trigger. So I was
It's
like,
real.
I need a new trigger. So something I would change is just the trigger. Obviously, she mentioned the handguard. My first AR that I bought came with this. Oh yeah, that was the one I bought standard. It actually came with this handguard, but it was a the full size version of the 16-inch. First thing I changed out was the handguard. I put my own sights on it. Change out the handguard. I changed out this to to accommodate the new handguard and the sights. Um, I haven't gotten big into doing like the muzzle brakes or the compensators or any of that. Which, again, as I said, I'm not omniscient. I don't know everything, so I'm learning as I go. We'll possibly look into changing out those things. I've never really utilized the piece for like your sling. The sling where you would
Mm-hmm.
hold it up, and the charging handle. So to some people, I don't know if it makes a difference. But on the build I got that I just showed you all that I'm starting in the last episode, I bought the ambidextrous charging handle because I like the ability to be able to like, so it's locked, right? This is locked, right? And you can only unlock it if it's on this side and you're pulling this little lever right here. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
that's called, but it's a lever, right?
Yeah.
So with the ambidextrous one, it's on both sides, so
Mm-hmm.
I can like if my hands are uh, full or something, I'm busy. I can just it's easier for me if you do the ambidextrous, to be honest, and it looks better to me. I don't know about everyone else, but it looks better to me.
So I'll be changing that.
Um, so the ambidextrous handle. Now I haven't been a fan of the Shockwave brace, um, but I see it often on people's. I usually like the, I think it's the SBA 3, something of that sort, where I have my strap. You can actually open it up, put it around your wrist, which I've never seen anybody actually use it for that functionality, by the way. But I think it looks cool. Um, so we'll get into the ins and outs. And then you have your ejection port. This is a very critical part of the gun, and the reason why I say that is because over the years now I've shot quite a bit of guns, and I can't tell you how when this isn't functioning properly, man, it's not, and the ejector in this side is not getting that shell out. My arm get burnt. Like I'm
Oh wow.
sitting there and I'm holding the gun, so just maybe you holding your weapon like this, and you fire it, boom, the casing come out and boom, hit your arm. Or sometimes it's the booth that you're in; it'll hit the wall and come back and hit your arm. So it's not all on the ejector and the port. Um, but these are things people usually change out. Now, for myself, I change out. Can I get it out right now? Is it simple? It's not as simple. Okay, so I can't take it apart right now. I don't have the tool to take it apart, and I don't have really tough fingers. But I always change out the the bulk carrier group. Um, I'll go with the nickel boron bulk carrier group. Why? I don't know. I know it's more expensive. I've heard it's more reliable. Personally, I feel like I felt the difference. And because I feel like I felt the difference, I go with that one. Generally the regular, I believe it's like nitride bulk carrier group. It's around like $99, $89. Probably can catch it on sale for like $79.99. But the nickel boron, all the ones I've purchased, they start around like 125, 120.